All right, welcome everybody to episode 2 of the Flat Black Podcast. With our special guest today is Ease One,
What up?
and of course Vivian, our co-host.
Hey guys.
So Ease, let's get into a little bit about how you got here to the desert and when it all started for you, and how you made your way over here.
Yeah, there's a place called Bar downtown, or used to be. It closed down, but I got asked to do a mural there with somebody I was collaborating with before, and that was my introduction to Palm Springs. So we came down here and just started painting there, and the person I collaborated with, she was doing portraits, and I was doing lettering and abstract stuff, and yeah, they liked us, so they invited us out to do some stuff. So.
Dope.
Yeah.
And then what, you just decided to stay here? You liked it that much?
Yeah, I had to keep coming back because I was doing a project in Vegas, so
Dope.
I would just go back and forth, and ended up meeting somebody here, and yeah, it's just like one thing led to another. So,
Right on.
Usually
Yeah.
how it goes. Where were you
Yeah.
from originally?
Puerto Rico.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. So you were raised in Puerto Rico, or you were
Born in Puerto Rico. About
Right on.
5 years, as 5 or 6, we moved to Kansas. I have no idea why.
Okay.
But I mean, good experiences in Kansas. At about 11 or 12, we moved to Texas,
Dope.
and from there, that's why I found out about graffiti.
Okay.
So-
What year about was this?
Shit. Man, I'm bad with
That's cool.
yeah,
Early on.
early.
That's right. And then Texas, and then from Texas, is that where you were before when you found out about this place and came out here for to paint?
No, I was moving around, man. From Texas, I went to China. I lived in China for about 2 years. I was doing some projects out there, and from China, I went back to Texas to Copenhagen.
Yeah.
But it's like a whole bunch of stuff that leads
Yeah.
up to that. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So,
See, that's one thing that I always admired about you is that you've actually traveled and
For sure.
you've seen a lot of shit. You know, you got from place to place, and you got to see a lot of places. I'm assuming you got to paint a lot of places
for
and stuff
sure,
like
yeah.
that. Let's talk about a little bit about Copenhagen and how that worked out for you and what you were doing out there.
Copenhagen was just like on a whim, man. I apprenticed. I'm a tattoo artist as well, so I apprenticed under Bookstar, and
Dope.
with him, man, we were just like, as soon as I met him, like the following week I met him, like we just started traveling. Like I was just assistant, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just learning how to tattoo from him. So we would go from all over the country, and then it came to a point where it's like, hey, there's a tattoo
Yeah.
convention in Copenhagen, let's go.
Yeah.
So we went out there, stayed out there for like a weekend or whatever. And then after that weekend, we went to London for about 2 weeks. He was tattooing out there. And after those 2 weeks, I was like, yo, I want to go back to Copenhagen. And he was coming back to the States.
Right.
So I went back to Copenhagen. I stayed for a year. You know?
Okay.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Now you got to see a lot out there, I assume.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can't walk around Copenhagen and not see graph. Like every street, every block has graph. You know.
Dope.
And people are just used to it. You know, it's just something that
It's-
people are used to. And
It's
like,
not really frowned upon as much as.
I mean, it is, but not as much as like in the States.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a normal thing, man. You like catch tags out there all day, pretty much. You know?
And then you were tattooing out there as well while you
Yeah.
were staying out there?
Yeah, when we went out there for the convention, after the convention, we went walk around, see he was out there, and we walked into a shop, and we stayed in there for about 2 hours, man. Like with Copenhagen, it's like you go in. If I'm there tattooing and if I'm tattooing somebody else, some random stranger comes in,
Yeah.
they'll spark a conversation with the person I'm tattooing, and I'd be there for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
So that's how it was when I got there, man. They were just drinking, having fun, and
Yeah.
and all the people at the shop just became my friends. It's like family now, pretty
That's
much.
what-
You know,
yeah,
so-
right. And now you have a place to call home whenever
Oh,
you're
yeah.
out there.
Yeah, it's like my second home, third
That's-
home, pretty much.
That's
you know.
fucking dope, man. That's
Yeah.
dope as fuck. Good stuff. So then after Copenhagen, I'm assuming you were back and forth from there to here
Yeah.
so you're just getting around pretty much.
Yeah, I lived out there. I ended up living there for about 3 years, and I would just stay. I mean, you could, like, it's a 90-day free visa, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I would just stay there for my 90 days. I'll come back home,
Yeah.
and then just go right back. You know. Yeah, I ended up staying there for about 3 years,
Nice.
and then after 3 years, I came back to the States. So,
Dope. Dope.
yeah, but I mean, with Copenhagen, like the graph there, it's just crazy, man. So many people painting there. It's super active. So
like saturated
yeah,
with writers
yeah.
and shit.
It's a normal
Yeah.
thing. Like from the
I
streets to
dig
the
it.
trains.
Yeah, the train.
Yeah.
So they have,
Yeah.
I'm assuming like a subway system there?
Yeah, yeah. They got the trains there, man. It's
Dope.
like, they call them strawberries because they're just like shaped like a strawberry.
Yeah.
But it's really dope painting there. But you just gotta be careful because like you don't get that much of a big window to paint.
Sure.
With the trains, so
You
everybody
gotta
uses
be
fat
fast.
caps. Yeah.
That's one thing I noticed
Yeah.
about dudes from
Yeah.
other countries. They're
Yeah.
painting 2 cans,
Oh yeah.
fat caps.
You get a
Trying to
small
knock 'em out.
window and like the
Hell yeah.
security
I
just
love
comes
that,
around
though.
if you know you gotta be quick.
It's under
So,
pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
And then we were talking a little bit earlier about you painting for Meeting of Styles. You've
Yeah.
actually got to paint a couple Meeting of Styles.
Yeah.
One being in Copenhagen,
Mhm.
and you mentioned one being in Malaysia.
Yeah.
How was that compared to each other? Pretty much.
Yeah, I was telling you, like Copenhagen, they set up like it's just like in front of a theater, and they set up like panels,
Sure.
and there's just a bunch of people from all over the place. Like,
Yeah.
like the people I was painting next to, one was from Germany, and the other one's from Athens, like Greece. You know, so
Dope.
it's just dope to be able
Make
to go
sure
out there
of-
and paint.
Yeah.
You know, connect with people from different countries.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't think it's like it's nothing better than that, man. Just seeing how certain styles are how many people have certain styles in different places, you know,
Right.
and how they get down, pretty much. Yeah, but Copenhagen was just like panels. Malaysia was just like a water drainage ditch.
Yeah.
And it just ran like big walls, just ran forever. So everybody was like next to each other.
Yeah.
And it was just like a dope vibe, you know.
Yeah.
It was
I've
like-
seen videos of it, and they seem to have it really together, man. I
Yeah.
mean, they even had like from what I can remember, they had like a party prior to the beginning
Mhm.
of it, you know, kind of
Yeah.
a welcome thing,
Yeah.
and then just, you know, bunch of painting,
Yeah.
you know, which
Yeah.
is fucking dope as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be my goal one day to out here to do something like that, man. I just, I think that's really dope,
Yeah.
getting everybody together and.
But to be honest, I knew those graph artists there, but I didn't know the caliber of the writers like in Malaysia.
Sure.
Like after living in Copenhagen, I've seen a lot of styles, and there's so many dope people out there,
Right.
and like so many dope bombers, but Malaysia was just a different different level, like I want to say different level of artists, but
Right.
just the styles was different.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and how
I
they
get
looked
that.
at it was just really dope. Man, they're all about it, man, and they get together and just rock dope productions. Like shout out to Asmo, Seek, like everybody from District shop there.
Dope.
Yeah, it's
Shop,
like,
I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
they're really dope, man.
Good stuff, man.
It was good to see. Good to see like just what they do out there, you know.
Yeah, that sounds like a really dope experience, especially when you're going international and you get to meet other people. You know, it puts you in a different. I feel like it puts you in a different perspective of the game. You know what I mean? Because you're now kind of challenging everybody else's or channeling everybody else's energy
Yeah, true.
and their way of graffiti. You know, could be different.
Yeah, true.
You know, from what we're used to, you know, and I always thought that was really dope to kind of get a sense of what's going on outside of the States,
Yeah.
especially. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's what's up, man. I dig that. So you've been in the desert here on and off for a little while now. I've actually worked with you in a few projects out here.
Yeah.
We did the Palm Springs Graph Park.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was really dope. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
A few commission jobs here and there, and you know, one thing I will say is your art, your style is very unique. Is that something that you developed very early on, or did you kind of grow into it?
Pretty much grew into like just experiences and like
Sure.
you know just learning along the way. I don't. It's really hard for me to like drop a sketch for what I'm going to do on a wall or anything like
Right.
that. You know, it kind of frustrates me to work off a sketch. I really want to like just get onto the wall and
Yeah.
just freestyle.
That's where your skill comes out.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Just with like just going onto the wall, like I don't drop a full sketch or anything like that. I just do like I pick a direction, you know. What I mean?
Yeah,
and
sure.
and I do a few lines for direction on purpose, whatever, and I let my style build off of that.
Dope.
You know.
Yeah, that's that's pretty cool considering the style that you do, because it's super like
It's very intricate.
yeah.
It's very intricate.
Yeah,
thank
like
you.
if you look at it, there's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff going on in there. So, you know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, appreciate
They
it.
do that. Yeah.
Do you think that, okay, because you've traveled and
Mm-hmm.
you've painted alongside a lot of different people, being immersed in different cultures, I'm
Mm-hmm.
curious, has that influenced the way that you paint now?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when I first arrived in Copenhagen, I had a whole different style, and then after walking around that place, it's like, yo, I gotta step it up.
Yeah.
You know,
Right. You get inspired. And
yeah, because I mean, just everywhere, everybody's dropping so many dope styles,
Yeah.
and they have they used to have a Hall of Fame there, and I would walk there and just see like, I'd just be influenced by all these people. It was just like just tons and tons of people just playing in that spot. Yeah, it just kind of like I just soak it up, you know.
Yeah.
And then after that I just start freestyling. And I want to push myself to do better with every piece I do. You know,
Nice.
so.
Nice. I like that. It definitely shows because, like I was saying, your intricacy within everything that you paint, there's a lot to look at, but that's not overwhelming, which I find a lot when there's just so much going on and you're like, wait a minute, this is too much.
Yeah.
It's not, because it all flows really well, and it trips me out just looking at it because everything just grooves in its own way and form. And so I've always noticed that, and it's pretty dope.
thank you.
You don't see that very often
Thank you.
either. It's hard to find that, so that's cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
that's important to me to have a good flow with a piece. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm doing like a piece with like angles or if, like certain curves. I want it to completely flow all the way through, and I don't know. I try. That's what I attempt.
How long have you been painting?
24 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, I started when I was 16. So
Nice.
yeah.
Very
Okay.
dope. So when you paint, take us through the process and like what it takes. You mentioned that you don't normally like to sketch something up, and then you just basically go to the wall. But what inspires you once you're there? Is it just what you're used to, or do you find inspiration as you kind of go? You're picking it up as you go.
Usually music gets me like
Dope.
I
feel that.
always start out with Nas.
Yeah.
Illmatic album. That kind of just keeps me going.
Okay.
It just
Hell yeah.
starts like have me flow into it, whatever.
Dope.
And then I just kind of like step back. It's weird, man. Like I rarely like if I'm painting, I rarely like step back to see what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Because once I drop a sketch and I pick a direction, I just flow off of that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And you kind of keep that flow going
Yeah.
the entire time.
Yeah, and if it's like layering, I do a lot of layering pieces, so I know exactly where I'm gonna go with it.
Sure.
But yeah, it's just a Nas.
It's just forced to have it,
Yeah.
and like you know what you're doing. And
Yeah.
the music
Yeah.
definitely for me is a big
Yeah,
inspiration.
for sure.
It could literally sometimes make or break me.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
same.
saying?
Yeah.
Like depending on what I'm listening to or how my day's going, you know, like I'm kind of influenced by that.
Yeah.
And sometimes the music though will amp me up and get me
Yeah.
going. You know what I mean? And kind of change my whole attitude. But oh, that's really dope, man. And then what kind of caps are you using? I mean, is there anything specific that you like?
Usually what just comes on a can, standard.
Yeah.
standard
Oh, no
you know.
shit. Okay,
I usually
dope.
do just use that tip all the way through, unless it
Wow.
clogs. You know what I mean? But
Wow.
just
I
pretty much
mean,
a standard cap.
So like, you know, I use a lot of 94s,
Mhm.
and I like 94s, but I'll have to say the stock tips on those for me.
Yeah.
It ain't
No,
the
no.
one.
It's just-
it ain't the one, bud.
It's just always-
no, seriously. It's just you know I don't know, man. I for filling in, if
Yeah.
I had to, I definitely wouldn't mind. But if I had to pick,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I always have my handy bag of caps. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
It works for me because I mean it's just smooth. It's smooth
Sure.
to me, and with my pieces
Everybody's
I do a lot of
different.
cutting in
Right.
and fading
Sure.
in. You know, so that's my go-to.
You know what? And I feel like a lot of it has to do with the pressure that you're applying to the cap too.
True.
So ultimately, you could really do whatever
Yeah.
you want
If I'm-
with any cap,
Yeah.
considering the
Yeah.
pressure that you're applying, right? So
Yeah.
maybe I should try that. Maybe I'm not giving them a chance.
Yeah, I mean, if it's bombing, it's something else. Like you know. For sure.
Yeah,
but
well,
I
I'm
mean-
not bombing with
Yeah, yeah.
94s
Yeah,
either.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to stay there for an hour filling
Yeah.
that shit in. But yeah, I feel that. Yeah, you know, for some reason, for me, it's always been New York fat caps, even for
Yeah.
filling in, or I'm sorry, for outlining.
Mhm.
You know, Universals has always been an all-time favorite for me for details and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But it's funny to hear that though, man. That you know the stock caps. I haven't really heard too many people say that.
I
Yeah,
don't hear
it's-
too many people say
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Wow.
That's my
what's up.
favorite one to use.
Good.
Yeah.
And then you're assuming by the times that you've been here, I assume 94 or Montana is one of your favorite brands.
Yeah, my go-to is 94. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
It's because of the low pressure and it's easier, smoother to.
Yeah, low pressure, the color schemes.
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure on
you
the
know,
colors.
color palette. You
Yeah,
know,
I feel that.
yeah, that's my favorite. That's my go-to. That's
when you're out in Copenhagen, what is the graph supplies? Just out of curiosity.
Cobra.
What
Usually use Cobra,
Cobra.
out there, yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what's cracking.
Okay.
My
out
homie,
there.
my homie Christian, he owns the shop there. It's called Underground.
Right.
Undergruden.
Okay. What is it?
Undergruden? It's on Underground, but I don't know
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I'm
word.
pronouncing
Right,
it
right,
but,
of course.
And he owns a shop there, man. It's it's pretty much a lot of the brands, pretty much. But
Okay.
my go-to is Cobra there.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You know, I've it's actually embarrassing even to say, but I've never even tried Cobra, bro, and I've
Oh, it's
actually
dope.
sold it.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
We carried Cobra
Yeah.
for a little bit,
I-
didn't
for
we?
a very little bit.
brief moment in
Yeah,
time there.
my connection wasn't very it wasn't very active, so I couldn't get it more than once. But it never got to try it out. But that's what's up. Compared to '94, what would you say Cobra is like?
It's good.
Yeah?
And then no complaints.
Coverage
Cobra,
and all
yeah.
that?
Yeah,
That's
there
what's
was
up.
a rep from Miami. We were on Art Basel, and he worked for Cobra.
Okay,
And I
dope.
always like praising him because like they messed up on an order, and it was a big ass order.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And they sent the whole order again.
Oh,
just
damn.
because they messed up a couple colors, so like
Man,
yeah,
that's
it was
awesome.
really
'cause-
sick.
That's how you make it right.
Yeah,
Shit,
it was a whole
man,
palette.
Take
of
notes.
paint, you know what I mean?
Some of these distributors out here need to take notes, man. 'Cause
You know?
goddamn. That's what's up. And I'm assuming they're using high pressure cans for all the trains and stuff like that.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
definitely.
know, the heavy bomb and
No,
shit.
yeah,
That's what's
Molotov,
up, man.
Belton, yeah,
Yeah, Belton.
yeah.
You know, Belton's always been one of my favorites. Just as of recently, we started carrying a few of their colors. Yeah, Belton seems to be like the most versatile can for me,
Okay.
at least. You know, with the pressure wise. Plus, they have the tall can Beltons, which
Oh,
are
yeah,
high
yeah.
pressure.
Yeah.
All day, man. I love those things, man.
There was a brand called Sabotage 80 that I liked.
I
a lot.
remember that.
Yeah, it had
Those are
that
really
dope character
good.
on there. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened to the company, but their
Who
their
knows, but
color
I
palette was
remember
sick.
that. Yeah.
yeah,
That was a really good brand.
Yeah.
That's actually some of the best paint I've ever painted.
yeah,
with.
same.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to it, man.
Yeah,
I wish,
who knows, man.
Wish I could use it again, but
Yeah, that's just one of those brands that just kind of came around and just disappeared,
Yeah.
you know?
well, you can still get some stuff on eBay, I think.
Oh,
You can
yeah,
still
but I
have
mean,
them,
you know, not like for a whole burner.
Yeah,
You get
yeah,
like one
yeah.
can to show on your display case. So where are you at right now? Like, what are you planning on? What are you working on?
and I just been tattooing like crazy.
Right, that's true.
And other than tattooing, I've been painting. I've had some bunch of projects in town.
Yeah.
And then like from tattooing to like finishing a tattoo, I just work on these projects.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
know.
just commissions at people's houses, man.
Oh,
That's-
dope! I seen that
yeah.
last one you were working on.
Yeah.
It. Yeah, really fly, man.
Yeah,
I
thank
like
you.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Wow, so you do commissions in people's houses.
Yeah, yeah. It was the last one. It was for a client. It became a friend, Steve and Adam, and just did the whole back wall. And as soon as I finished that, he was like, "What's next?" You know.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was all like pretty much neon paint.
Yeah.
Spray paint and neon paint, neon colors. They got a bunch of different lights in place, and they change. And when it changed, the wall, everything on the wall changes. Like,
Dope.
so yeah. After I finished that, he was like, "Let's paint the doors," and I'm like, "All right, cool." Let's, you know. So
Nice.
now he's out of town right now, but as soon as he get back, we're doing some other stuff. So I've been kind of fortunate just to have good clients here, just keep
Yeah.
me busy, you know.
Well, that's what happens. Like once you start meeting people and you know friends of friends start seeing your art, it's
Yeah.
just kind of like a
Yeah.
domino effect. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
true. True.
That's one thing that I've noticed with the artwork. It's like I always tell the artists that I, you know, that I work with or I commission. Like, look, if you do a good job, you're gonna get more work.
True.
You know, and it
Yeah.
speaks for itself. So definitely give it all you got. You know, and it's definitely been happening for you for a while because I remember seeing you. Well, you know, even with Bar, you know,
Mhm.
that was a huge wall.
Yeah.
The whole back wall I remember was, you know, my first time going there. I was like, "Yo, who's painting like
Yeah.
that out here?" You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then obviously the whole front wall, which turned into like a whole controversy thing, which made it.
It was
even
all over the
cooler.
news and all that, right?
It was.
Yeah.
It was. Crazy.
But it's still up. So
And it's
True.
still.
and
up.
it's still up. As
Go
as
figure.
controversial as that was, it's still up. So. And
Yeah.
for some of you that don't know, Bar used to be JD's back in the day. So just so you all
JD's.
get a picture of that one. So, but that says a lot, I think, about, if street art, graffiti, whatever you want to call it, I think it says a lot for, you know, how far it's evolved
Yeah.
from where it was to where it is now. Have you noticed the difference?
Yeah.
Like
it's-
from
it's-
starting to now?
Yeah, street art is everybody loves street art.
Yeah.
Like,
It's commercial.
It's commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everywhere, man.
But it wouldn't happen if it wasn't graph. People like worked off of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, so
Definitely.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's-
anybody that says otherwise is
Yeah.
retarded.
They don't know.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird to me sometimes. Like, I wouldn't be able to do things that I do for people's homes if I didn't do graph first.
Sure.
You know, so I think a lot of people need to understand that. Like, it just builds up from tagging to
Sure.
to what I'm doing now.
Well, and a lot of the stuff that you're doing also is pretty much the same style that you're doing with
the
the
graph.
graffiti.
Yeah, true.
You're ultimately just making it in a way where it makes more sense for someone that isn't necessarily going to appreciate a graffiti piece as much as we do. You're ultimately putting it in a better perspective for them to kind of look at it as street art because
Yeah.
it's just shaped it's a kind of way.
True.
Where they're like, oh, it's more appealing or whatever
And a lot of people actually don't know I hide my name in there.
Oh,
I
that's
can
what's
change
up.
it up for you, but I mean,
Yeah.
you can if you really look at it, you can still
That's
see
dope.
like an EASE in there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Nice.
Huh.
It's like a fun thing to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course,
For me, I
bro.
mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Little Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
little
I
Easter
dig
eggs.
that 100%. That's dope, man. And what project would you say is one of your favorite ones that you've done? Maybe like the biggest one or something where you were like, oh shit, I'm really happy about this.
Probably the Salton Sea.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was just like I was in Venice and old friend like showed up and I was like, yo, we found a spot and let's go. And that's the same day we packed up and went. And
Yeah.
ended up in the Salton Sea for I don't know how long. Like it's insane.
Did you guys camp there or like you just kept
Yeah,
going
we
back?
slept in a truck. Like we
Wow.
just slept
Oh,
in the
no
back.
shit.
Like,
Okay.
yeah,
That
it
makes
was-
sense though, considering the spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've always wondered, because for those that don't know, so the Salton Sea spot, which is considered Slab City,
Slab City. Yeah.
Inside the pillars, you guys wrapped the whole thing
Yeah.
before anybody.
Yeah.
It was, you guys did that. Was it on the outside as well, or was it just
Yeah,
on the inside?
there was a tank a few like 100
So
yards
that was
away.
separate though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, separate.
Okay.
But it was continuous because like the lettering I did was from a song by Eddie Vedder. It was called Society.
Dope.
So it's just like pertaining to the area where everything was
Right.
going on.
That's funny. I would have never known that.
yeah.
That's
So
what's
I
up.
started the lyrics and then it just flowed onto the
Dope.
tape. You know.
Dope.
Yeah.
So then you guys, I'm assuming, had a rope in there or something, because I mean that's a fall, bro.
We got in there and it was like somebody built like a little
Makeshift ladder.
makeshift ship or some shit. I don't know.
Oh,
It was tripped
crazy.
out.
Oh,
But it was a bunch of dirt in there, like old dirt. Like
Right.
we did some work in there to get all the dirt, everything
Sure.
out. And yeah.
Well, before you guys, it was basically just abandoned area. Like,
Well, there was a guy living in a tank.
Oh, crazy.
There's another guy living in a trailer
Crazy.
right next to the silo where we were
Right.
painting, and we all became friends, man.
well, fuck, I would imagine.
Yeah, and we ended up cleaning that out. Ended up spraying. I ended up spraying the whole thing and the tank as well, and
Yeah.
just
How long did that take?
like probably 2 weeks. 2 weeks. yeah.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a big ass
Yeah.
piece, bro.
Yeah.
I've seen that thing in mags. I've seen it all over the fucking.
Yeah, it
internet.
ended up. It was pretty cool because like I was sleeping in the truck. I was trying to get some rest, and then my friend Courtney woke me up, and it was like some dude showed up. He was camping not too far from there.
Yeah.
He turned out to be a photographer from Nat Geo.
Crazy.
And he was just camping. It was like a party type of thing in there, and then
Oh,
he took
shit,
some photographs.
go figure.
And the next day, like, it ended up in Nat Geo's IG, and then my
What the
phone
fuck? I
just
guess
fucking
you
went
never
crazy.
know. Yeah, no
That's
shit. Oh, they
insane.
tagged you guys and all
Yeah,
that?
it tagged us, and then I
Oh,
couldn't
bro.
like do anything on my phone. Like people
Yeah.
just kept blowing
Yeah,
me
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Like, it was crazy.
Because you never know who's
You
around.
just never
True.
know.
That's insane.
True.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was
wow.
a dope one. That was definitely one of those pieces that I could say that when I seen, I was like, holy
Yeah,
shit.
too bad it
like-
ain't there no more, but kind of planning on doing some more stuff out there.
Yeah.
Pretty Courtney, so.
Yeah, that area kind of got discovered a little bit more.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And then it kind of got fucked up a little bit, but still dope to paint there. I still go over there once in a while.
I haven't been back since we did that.
No shit.
Yeah, but it's in the
Yeah, I mean,
plans.
it's just somewhere to paint. I mean, I'm not gonna spend 2 weeks in there or nothing. You know what I mean? It's dope if it's not too hot, because you know when it gets too
Oh,
hot,
man.
obviously it fucking stinks like fish and shit with all the dead fish
Oh,
right
yeah,
around
yeah.
the corner there.
It was hot as fuck when I was there.
Oh, was it?
It's super
That's
hot, man.
interesting, man. Yeah.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
That's some
There's
serious
one part of
dedication.
it that I fucked up though, cause like a homie had a bong, and you know I usually don't smoke a lot. Like
Yeah.
I smoke if I paint at home or whatever. But
Sure.
and I'm doing a lettering, and like there's one part just all the letters start leaning. They're supposed to be straight up and down.
Oh,
I got
crazy.
So it just fucking, you know.
you kind of
It's
you were
fucking
able
me
to
up.
tell where you
Yeah.
were
Start
starting.
painting the way you were feeling.
Yeah,
Start
exactly.
going one way.
Yeah, start leaning.
That's what's up. Yeah, hell yeah, man. And besides that, what is one of the craziest or one of the funnest places you could say that you've painted? You know, where you could say like, man, this was a fun place.
Always
Besides this, I mean, I guess it's
Copenhagen.
kinda the same.
Always Copenhagen.
Yeah, Copenhagen.
Malaysia for sure. Like I didn't expect it to be that
Sure.
way when I got there.
Now, when I think of Copenhagen, I'm thinking like cold.
Cold? Yeah.
Cold,
it gets
like,
cold as hell. Yeah.
Winter, freaking snow. Am I
Yeah,
tripping?
yeah.
Blizzards.
Yeah,
Blizzards?
Not blizzards, but I mean it gets super cold.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's just in the winter though, or am I? I mean, I don't know why I have.
I
this.
don't know, man. A lot of the year, bro. Like
Okay, so I'm not tripping like entirely.
there's a certain
I just
time.
think like it snows there like all year round. and
Yeah,
shit.
there's a
Like,
certain
that's what
time
I
where-
imagine in my head.
there's a certain time where
Antarctica.
where it gets sunny, like
Okay.
for a short period of time.
Okay.
Right on.
But I always think of it as like London, London, like it's kind of like foggy and shit. Like
Yeah,
that,
right.
Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how
yeah.
I think of it. But a
dig
certain
it.
time where it's really good weather and like
Okay.
everybody comes out and paint and just enjoy the time there, you know.
Yeah. And now, when you were painting out there, I mean, do you have friends that'll kind of like link you up with like the legal walls and shit like that, or are you just kind of like running up on walls?
Running up on walls, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot of some abandoned places that's dope,
Dope.
to paint. The
Yeah.
Hall of Fame's no longer there.
Okay.
They kind of took that away.
Right.
But there's a really dope wall there from like Save and they had to keep, man. That wall's insane. But yeah, otherwise, no, not a lot of legal spots. Like mostly illegal. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I dig it. Yeah, I mean, in some of these places, you could just kind of just roll up. I mean, like, you know, well, obviously you know this, but like what we used to do is just kind of roll up like you're supposed to fucking be there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Put
Oh,
your
yeah.
cans down.
Yeah, yeah.
Got your, you know, your vest on and shit, your yellow vest on. You know, like I'm just supposed to be here. But yeah, that's dope. You know, especially those abandos, man. Yeah, I like abandos, man.
That's always
Yeah.
cool. Like you never, especially there, like you never know.
But that's what I like.
You never know what's gonna happen.
Never. Like you could essentially die in that motherfucker.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just you and who, you know, your boys or whoever you're there with, and you know, you're crossing sketchy ass platforms, and
True, yeah.
you know, anything could fucking happen. I
Bunch
think
of-
that's what makes it that much more exciting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you just kind of get in,
The
you
unknown.
do your shit,
Yeah.
you know, get out,
Yeah.
get the flick, and you know, get the experience in there, man.
Part of the adrenaline.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially with spots like that. You know, lately I've been trying to stick to like just finding spots like that
Yeah.
where it's just out in the middle of nowhere and you're just kind of exploring a little bit.
JT
you know?
area.
Yeah. See, I could never find any spots like that out there, man.
There's a bunch of shacks and stuff. It's still,
Oh, okay.
You know, but it's still.
I know
still
on the
good
way
things
to
work
Vegas,
with.
that little back road area, I've found a few where I, you know, just kind of jumped out. Those are pretty fun. Nobody's tripping there.
Yeah.
You know, like you just kind of do your thing.
There's nobody around. Like,
There's
really.
just nobody
Yeah.
around. Yeah, exactly. Maybe a little bit more now. There's probably more people now because it's so, you know, a lot of people started going out there. But yeah, it's still not. It's not crazy crowded or nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I like that. So, aside from tattooing and painting, what do you do? I mean, are you just kind of dedicating your life to it?
That's pretty much it, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really do anything else.
I dig it.
It just takes up pretty much all of my time.
Yeah,
Like, if
yeah,
I'm
I
not, if
feel
I'm not
that.
tattooing, then I'm painting something. If I don't have anything to paint, I'm looking for something to paint. You know?
You know, a lot of people have the misconception that you can't make a living off art.
Oh,
And art, you know, can be perceived in so many ways. You know, I mean, there's tattooing as well, obviously, you know, and then just writing,
Yeah.
you know, or doing art or doing pieces. And, you know, it's important that people know that, you know, you could grow up and be a tattoo artist, or you could grow up and be a muralist, or you could grow up and be a graffiti writer, even
Yeah.
these days, especially, man. And, you know, I think that's pretty dope. You know what I mean? And it's inspiring to hear that because a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah,
You know,
but it's
so-
just putting in work. Like if you find if it's something you like to do,
Sure.
or if like you fall in love with it, man, you just got to put in work.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I hear that, and it's dope that you get to travel and you've met people through your travels, and you essentially have a home wherever you go, you know, or in these
Yeah.
places that
Yeah,
are,
true.
you know,
Yeah.
like I think that's one of the best ways of. That's like almost making it, you know. You kind of just get around and, you know, yeah,
I have no complaints. No complaints with any of that.
yeah, no
So.
shit.
I think that's important. I think it's important for a lot of writers that are starting out because I don't know, I think a lot of them feel within a year or 2 years, they're like, well, damn, I'm not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm not being picked up, you know, that a lot of them do it. We called it the Insta fame. They do it for the gram. And I think that's all it, you know,
It's a phase.
it's a phase, but they have this idea in the back of their head where they're like, I want to travel. I want to be, you know, I want people to know who I am. And it's just, I think it's hard for them to understand that putting in the work
Yeah.
is something that they got to do that goes along with it. Obviously, you've put in the work and you've traveled, you're doing, you know, commissioned pieces in people's homes. So it's possible.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
just, it's, you don't see it too often. Or maybe it's just not advertised as much as,
That's a good thing though.
yeah. No, it's,
You know,
yes, definitely.
He has more jobs lined up for himself. you
Right,
know,
right.
imagine-
So I mean, it just goes to show like putting in the work is a big
Yeah,
thing, and I think that's just one
definitely.
thing that people don't know. I think
it's with everything, though. Like-
yeah, I think just with writing though, they think it happens overnight. Like with anything else,
You can
anything
get a
happens
bunch
overnight.
of likes on IG and all that kind of stuff, but still, like, you definitely got to still put in work. Like,
Yeah.
You know, if you want to get somewhere to do it, I mean, definitely.
But
gotta
to
put
make
in-
a living off
To make a
of it.
living.
make a
off-
living, yeah.
Right. You know, it takes.
Like I never wanted to do anything else. Like once I started, it was like it was a thing.
Yeah.
That I didn't do good.
Well,
good in
not
school,
everybody
'cause
has the courage to make something of it.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But like I was talking about with Pesci this last podcast, I mean, the opportunities are endless these days, especially, you know, and you could essentially do whatever you want. You know, if you really put your work into it and you dedicate yourself and you
Yeah.
put yourself out there, you know, because I feel like you could be a graffiti writer for years and years and years, but if that's all you're doing, ultimately, I mean,
That's all you're
you
gonna
kind
do.
of burn out.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I mean, I have nothing against it because I do it too. You know what I'm saying? But I decided to make a business out of it because this is what I wanted to do, and
Yeah.
that's it, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to do
And you've
nothing.
been killing it, dude. Ever
Yeah,
since like I met
thank
you,
you.
like
Well, it's just consistency. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
true.
saying? And like when you love something so much, bro, it's just easy. Like, you know, and yeah, man, thank you. It's just yeah, like just like you, bro. It's just hard work and
Yeah,
dedication.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I appreciate everything you've done out here. You've definitely made a scene out here in the desert, man.
Likewise, man. Likewise.
You know, and those pieces, you know, that you're knocking out. For those that don't know, I mean, it's, you know, this dude isn't somebody that's just rocking walls to just rock walls. You know, like it's there. You know what I mean? And the skill is there. The skill set is there.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
I'm looking forward to working again together and doing some more dope shit. You know what I mean? And I think that's it, man. I think we're gonna close out. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys. man.
Absolutely,
No, thank you
dog.
for
Yeah, for sure.
coming.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, we're out. Peace.